Hello, this is Lisa Young from Lisa Young Art. I am doing a new project with some friends and I hope you guys enjoy this. It's called Creative Whispers and it's a YouTube series featuring 4 artists. There's a secret prompt and it's a creative game of artistic interpretation. The challenge is each artist works only from the previous artist's piece without ever knowing the original prompt. So I will work on something and knowing the prompt. I will know the prompt, but I will never say it. The next artist watches my video and decides maybe what that prompt is. And then she works on a piece and then so on and so forth. The artists are going to be Gabrielle Heckenberger, I'm probably saying it wrong, Tina Hois Art, and Wendy from Willow Workshops, and myself. I'm going to be the first artist in this one. And so what I'm going to do is I will go through and I will talk through my supplies, and then I will create something. And you and the other artists are going to try to guess what the original prompt is. As each artist works on this project, they may either have guessed it correctly or incorrectly. But your job is to guess the correct prompt. And after you watch all 4 videos, you will then take and create from those prompts guessing the prompt from those videos and create your own project. So you could either post a video on YouTube or you could show something on Instagram, whatever you like. And on June 15th, we'll come back to YouTube and I will reveal what the original prompt was. You can come back here and you're going to leave a comment and leave a link to your video. If you've done something on Instagram, just tag us in that post. But then in June 15th, I will be posting a video saying what the original prompt was. So I'm going to reveal what the original prompt was to everyone. But until then, no one knows, and you're creating just from watching the videos and taking your own creative interpretation of what is going on. We really hope that you will join in the fun and that you really enjoy the process of the Creative Whispers and just enjoy watching the videos and playing along with us. We're so grateful you are here, and now let's get into it. On and so forth. Okay, so hopefully that answers any questions that you have, but if you have a question, I've also included a description in this YouTube video that describes the whole project. You can read through it, or you can ask me a question and I'll clarify it. So let's proceed. So I am going to walk through some of the supplies that I will be using for my video. And I'm gonna give you a hint on this video that it is going to be a supply that I will be using in my art journal that is the prompt that we're working from. So the first thing that I have is I'm going to be working in just an old vintage book. I'm working straight on the page. I haven't prepped it or anything. It's just directly on the page because I'm going to be doing a lot of collage and gluing, that type of thing. So I'm just going to kind of work on the raw page. I have a collection of vintage photos here, and these are available in my shop. I think it's under family photos, and it's a collection of 5 photos. I love these photos. They're just so fun. I have this fascination with old photos where they're either off center or they've cut off partial of the person or all of the person. I just love those. So I have a bunch that's like in my collection. here's some ladies that just kind of look, I think it's friends and family photography is what this is called, friends and family. These three ladies, they just look like they are having a good time. And here again, I love that this guy is cut off. So it's like kids and a dad, and he's kind of cut off. And it's kind of wonky. The background's kind of wonky. I love this type of photography. And here you have a mom and daughter, and then the mom is cut off and the little girl is kind of cut off. I just love this type of photography. I think it's so much fun. And then this one's just a regular just girl, but I liked her skirt and I thought she would make a cute collage doll, so I thought that was kind of fun to include. So I have those. But again, this photography is available on my website. Let me paper clip these together just to keep everything kind of organized here. Well, maybe. There we go. And then this is, I use vintage paper clips because I love them, but they're not very easy to use. Okay, so this is a vintage seed packet. I love these, and they're just kind of fun to include sometimes. And then 2 craft pocket envelope type things. Paper clip them back together. I have a paper pocket that's folded and ready to go, and it fits the size of my journal just perfectly, so I really like that one. And if you're interested in paper pocket folding, I have a class called Paper Poetry where we work with paper and we make pockets in all kinds of different projects in that class. Or there are some videos to pockets in my YouTube, but I don't think this one is on that. This is just like a stack of vintage papers. I have some onion skin and just a little selection of papers. I always like to have some vintage papers that are just kind of on hand. I have a glue stick, some typed words, some little ribbons, some paper clips, more vintage paper clips. This is vintage stamps, like postage stamps. And then I have some ink pads and some scissors. I do have my watercolors and watercolor brushes. And then I have my sendak of, this is my Paganol sendak. This goes with me everywhere. It's like my final touches jelly roll kind of thing. It's not quite a jelly roll, but anyways, it has some Tombow markers in here. It has the purple willow 3.5s, just like pencils, gel pens. I've got gold, silver, white. I've got some brown microns, a brown and black Stabilo, but it's just like water soluble pencils, a regular pencil, a water brush. In this pocket, I have just a sharpener and some extra lead for my pencils, but it just kind of has a little bit of everything. It's just like the thing that I can't live without. It has rulers. It just has it has some watercolors in there as well. But anyways, it just has a little bit of everything for me. So I'm going to fold this up. Well, I'm not going to fold it up. I'm just going to set it to the side. So within the description of my supplies is the prompt. So the prompt for today is a supply. So the prompt, whenever we're creating with the prompt, when the prompt is a supply, it has to be well established on, it doesn't have to be the subject matter, but it can't be a small detail. So like I can't take a stamp and tuck it in the pocket where you really can't see it very well and call it the prompt. It kind of has to be known. You can see it, like it's a part of layout. And so just keeping that in mind as I do this, that it's not going to be something hidden. It's going to be something that is actually, it doesn't have to be the subject, but it has to be well known. So let's dive in and get creating. So I think I'm ready to start. I think the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to use this pocket and I'm going to glue it right there. It fits so perfectly. I'm going to put it there. This was made with, I normally don't use 1700s, like vintage papers that are from the 1700s, but I couldn't resist doing this one as a pocket. So I did use that paper. It's so lovely, but it's very old, but they just hold up so well. I love vintage papers so much. So I'm gonna add this to my journal here. I'm just coating it really well with a glue stick, and just gonna lay this right here. Give it time to adhere while I'm doing some other things. I don't know if I need that paper clip. I'm gonna leave it here just in case. Well, let's put it over here. I'm gonna set it to the side. Now I want to look. So when I do this type, when I have pockets like this that have like several different slots, I can add so many different things to them. So I can fill, since I've grabbed some of these other pockets, I can fill these pockets with things. I can write little notes. I can do all kinds of things. But what I like to do is just like stagger more art into one thing, because whenever I sit down to create, it feels like I just want to do so much. And so I like the pocket because in one layout I can do quite a bit. I think, do I have one in here? I don't know. Let me find one here. Let's see. I also like to use them to bookmark. So I haven't done this layout completely, but I have all these pieces like sitting in this little teeny pocket, and then I can kind of look at it later. So I knew I wanted this, but I wanted to add something else here. So I don't know, I stuffed a few things in here and I thought I'll come back to it. I just bookmarked it kind of. So pockets work really great for bookmarking for me anyways. But I do have some vintage papers over here, and then like that I could do some things with. I do have some that are already painted on. I'm trying to keep these paper clips together. Let me get a little, oops, get a little dish to hold them in. I have a paper clip holder, but I think I'll just keep them right there for right now. So I have some pieces here of just some clip artist type stuff that I painted at one point. But what I wanted to start with is one of the photos. Vintage photography to me is just the bee's knees. I just love, I love it. And so I think I'm gonna go with those two photos. We're coming into the month of May where there's just like motherhood energy, women energy. So I thought, oh, I'll just do this. So one of the first things I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna cut her out. So I'm just gonna cut her out of the background of the photo so that it's just her. I don't know if I'll use both of them, but I'll play with this and just see what happens. Sometimes I like to start with more than I would end up with, but just to give me some choices. All right. And you could save this to use in another layout, or even to use over a piece of like this. You could do something like that. I don't do that very often, so I'm gonna put this to the side, but I mean, you can save it, is what I'm saying. All right, and so I wanted to see if I couldn't adorn her dress with one of these watercolor pieces. Let's see. Just to bring some color into the conversation here. I think I'll start with this. And normally I'll just like hold it where I'm thinking and then just kind of see where it lands. Yeah, it won't be taller than my page. I just like to make sure that it's not going to be taller than my page. And then I just kind of cut down and then I'll turn it around and kind of start that cut right there. Come this way. There. So then I can position this on her, you know, so I could even go up a little higher if I wanted to, and then just cut around the arms. But I kind of think I want to leave her arms where they're at and make it a little long, make her dress longer. So make her more, so she's kind of little, the picture's little, but I want to make her more of a statement. And so I think I'm going to just glue that. I'm going to take this piece and just put a little glue at the top of it for right now while I position it. And just kind of, I don't want to cover her hands. I think I want to line it up to where her hands are not covered. But there we go. And so if there's excess over the, like you can see where there's a little excess there, I kind of trim that off. I cut her dress a little bit to fit my paper. All right, and then I go underneath here just to make sure that this is glued on really well. And then I can add some of these like botanicals, or I could, trying to think of what I want to do. I could put a word across there. I think I'm gonna cut one of these botanicals out and put on her dress though. So I'm just gonna cut one of these. I'm not a big fussy cutter, so I do my best. Some people really have that down to a science, like their fussy cutting is just so good. I'm not one of those people, but I do my best. All right, so I'm just kind of gonna cut this out. I'm gonna leave these little sprigs here though, and cut around those a little bit. There. And maybe add that to the bottom of her dress. Let's see, I'm wondering if I need some contrast of some sort. So I have these vintage papers. So maybe I'll add like a little torn piece of this. To the dress as well. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down first. Position it how I want it. And then kind of have it there. And then turn her over and trim this excess off. Okay. I can already see I need to add some more glue right there. Whew. This paper's sticking to me. All right. Okay, I like the size of her. This part right here I want to cover up. So I need to decide how I want to do that. I save all these little teeny scraps of papers, so I'm thinking I could do something there. I just need to make sure it fits the size. So I'm gonna trim this a bit. Let's see. There we go. So I know that fits, and so I'm going to tear the edge. Okay. And then just glue it. Make a little collage doll. So I'm going to set her to the side for a minute. Like, she could fit even in a pocket. Like this, maybe. You could slide her in and out of a pocket if you wanted to, or I don't know. We'll see what we do. I'm going to put her to the side. That almost looks good there. Okay. Then I have this photo here that I think would look nice on this side, but I'm trying to decide. I want to add more colors. I don't want it to just be this color. I want to add some more colors into this. And so something along the lines of blue or purple. So let's see. I wonder if I like the edge on that, even though the writing is upside down. Okay, so to make that pop, I'm just gonna kind of grab and make a little swatch of colors here. So I'm just cleaning up my watercolor palette, grabbing some of the blues. I am gonna grab some pink as well, and some green. Let's grab some green. I like to try to mirror the colors I want to add or that are already in the layout itself. Grabbing some yellow, because there is some yellow in that. If I use that, there's like a I don't know, lighter corally, I don't know what, how, if I have something that's, I'd have to mix it a little bit. Let's see if I can get that color. Let me test it on something here. Here we go. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's pretty good. No, I forgot what I mixed it with. Oh, right here. Oh, right here. There we go. Got it. So I'll grab that. I'm trying to decide if there's anything else. Maybe a little purple, because if I use anything purple, there will be a purple. I don't do rhyme or reason with my palettes. I just kind of, whatever I'm feeling. I don't lay them out in any kind of color wheels fashion or anything, but I just kind of go for it. I think that will frame that pretty nicely. And especially if I like wanted to put something like this on the bottom. I think I'm gonna leave this for a second, because I wonder if I have some papers here that are thick enough for, there, I do have some that might be thick enough for a tag. Just gonna flip through here really quick. I think this music paper I can make into a tag. I just need to make it wider than the picture. I might trim this down, so I'm gonna grab my bigger scissors here and just trim some of this excess off. Let's see, does it look, I always turn them over because sometimes I can see where I'm not cutting, so I'm not a straight cutter. Cutting and stamping skills are not my strength, but I still work on them. I still just continue to work on those skills. Okay, so I am going to I'm gonna try to make a tag-ish shape around that I love you truly. So I'm folding to tear around the words there. See, and that fits nicely on that. Okay, so there is I like there to be a color variation, but I still feel like the tones on this are very close to the background. And so I either want to add some color to this background, or I want to add something to this tag to make it pop off of the page. And so what I think I'm going to do is grab a stamp pad, and I think I have a black one here, or maybe brown. I think I'll just go with black. When in doubt, go with black. So I'm going to take the black. Well, first let me show you how I normally just fold this in half gently, and then just make a corner cut to make it a tag shape. There we go. Okay, and so I'm going to edge it with a black stamp pad to kind of make it pop off of the page. And I might use brown as well, but I'm going to do black first just to see what I think. And just kind of rough up the edges here a little bit. And then, yeah, I might add a little brown. I just have these little distress ink pads. The minis I've been using quite a lot lately just because they're nice to pack and not have, because I can fit a lot of stamp pads in one, like on my desk without it taking over my desk. So I've been enjoying these. And then I might just kind of go in here and just add some grungy marks in that. Sometimes I will crinkle up the papers, but this paper is a little, it's not fragile, but it will just break if I crinkle it. So I'm going to leave it as is. And there we go. I'm going to position, I'm just going to look at this for a second and think about it. Make sure this is what I want. Okay, let me see something. I'm going to cut some of these leaves out and just see if that doesn't add a little bit of pop to this tag here. I don't want to add too much. I don't want to overwhelm it, but I wanted to see if I couldn't add something. Like little bits of green. When I painted it, I was not intending for this to be cut up, but that's the beauty of it. You never know what you're going to do with things once you've put them together and you think, oh, I'll just use that as a solid piece. But then sometimes it's funner just to cut it up, and it doesn't even hurt my heart to do it. Because if I just add a little bit, maybe. And then where's the others? I had other, oh, they're buried over here. So we have some of these maybe. I think maybe cutting one of these, that's a good idea. I cut this one up. If I'm really in love with a piece, I will, like this, I'll just take a picture of it and then I can use it later too. Let's see here. Because I'll just take a picture of it and print it off and then I have it. But I didn't do that with this, but sometimes I do that. Okay, I like that more because it's bringing in that blue and purpley and I just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna glue the picture down first and then go from there. Put some glue on this flower. I'm just gonna lay it right there. So it's out of the way, it's not covering up too much of the photo, but it's still, I think it adds some interest to the tag itself here. And then, I think I put my stapler away. I tend to put things away whenever they set too long. Then I'm like, because if they set for an hour, then it gets put away on accident. I don't even know what I'm doing. Then I'll go looking for something. Where the heck did I put it? I think I'm going to take this blue and staple it here. This blue ribbon here, this polka dotted ribbon, it's sari ribbon. I have a bunch of this that I have stashed away, and I wanted to use some of it up. So I'm going to go like that. There. And so then it will stick. And the thing that I like about this is that it will stick outside of my journal. If I was to use this over here, I probably would back my tag to make it a little more sturdy. But where I'm just kind of setting it over here, I don't think it needs it. And I think that's cute. On these small journals, sometimes there's not a lot of breathing room around them. So sometimes you'll have to take things away or just rethink how you're laying things out. Or you could like put this over here and swap how you're doing things. So you could, you know what I mean? Like you could paper clip that on, set her there. So like I may or may not use that. I may be sticking it over here. So you just never know. So I start laying things out, and even if in the end they don't, after my auditioning of this, if they don't fit where they fit, then I just move them around. And that's the beauty of the pocket. I can still use so much of what I'm creating in this pocket. Okay, so I'm gonna put those to the side here. I really would like to add some into this pocket. So I think I want to add this, but I want to bring in some of that music paper too. So I'm going to see if I can't maybe just back it a little bit. I just like having variations in the vintage paper patina and script in layers really does it for me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna do this, just kind of layer it. And then cut it down, and then we'll glue it to this pocket. There we go. And it's kind of subtle, and I like that. It kind of blends into the pocket. I do want some words, so let's see. I have love, manifest, growth. I think in this tag it says, I love you truly. So I think I might go with love over here, or something that goes with that. Mindful, sacred, explore. I knew I had a love in here. Let's see. There it is. So I'll put that over here somewhere. I just have a bunch of words pre-stamped, and I run them through a little sticker maker so they're ready to attach to something. Oh, I pulled out Explorer too. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe that was meant to be. So we'll set that there. Okay, so I have these other pockets, and I know I want to layer this guy somewhere. I like the colors, and I like the idea of it kind of being there. Let's see. And what if this was kind of sitting that way? Let's cut these flowers out. I like journal pages to be interactive, so I love pockets for this reason. And the vintage photography a lot of times is in these pockets, and botanicals and just vintage pieces are kind of staggered throughout, just because I kind of like that aesthetic and feel to journals. So I have this but I think it would overpower the pocket. So I think I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put her here. And I think I'm going to put love on her, and then explore over on the pocket. Love here. I needed my tweezers to do this, because it keeps sticking to me. So I'm going to put that on her, and then I think I'm going to put explore here. Woo. There we go. And I think I will glue this tag right there. I like the randomness of it, and I also just like how it's interactive. Like you have to explore to see what's all in there. There we go. Now just kind of, I might put this, because I haven't utilized that back pocket, so I might put this here, and then this here. I just like the layered look of the pockets whenever you have stuff in there, so I like to utilize all the layers a little bit. There we go. Trying to decide if I want to paper clip anything. I like to have a paper clip on something. I don't know what it is, but I just like it. So I'm going to put a paper clip right here. There. And then, because then I could add a little piece of ribbon if I wanted to too. Make this palette thing tag-ish. I stretched it out a little bit and stretched too much. I could add a little, you know what? What if I did this? Just stapled a little ribbon to it. That would be good. There we go. I just keep fiddling with things until I have it how I want it. And I don't like things matchy-matchy, but I like there to be a cohesive theme, and I like there to be many colors. I've tried, like here, I've tried to just work with varying colors of blue, and it's all right, but it doesn't completely do it for me, so I like this. I think I'm gonna just, I don't know what it is. I just need a little paper clip. I'm obsessed with vintage paper clips, so I just need to have it somewhere. So we'll just kind of attach it there. I could maybe even, I don't know, maybe to this side here. Sometimes I like to attach things in the pocket with a paper clip and it holds them in place better. But then also I get my paper clip kick out of it. There we go. There we go. Okay. So with this layout and this tutorial that we did here, there is a prompt within what we did. And I will tell you it is a supply. So you can guess away on this and just let us know what you think the prompt is. And then go and watch the next 3 videos and let's just see what everybody else thinks the prompt is. And at the end, come back to this video and comment your guess as what the prompt is. And then we'll pick a winner and you'll receive something special. So I hope you enjoyed this and continue on and watch the rest of the videos.